choice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really care.
If you don't care, I don't, bitch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Not Well. I'm Bobby.
I'm Jim.
How are you doing?
How are you doing? It's been a while.
It's been a week.
And what a week it's been.
Yeah?
For me. I'm tired. I worked 5 days in a row and I'm tired.
Well, look at me. I look like shit.
Right.
Like, look at my appearance today on the show. Like, I didn't even comb my hair.
Yeah, it looks like a toupee. Yeah.
Wow.
The way it curves and flops down.
I'm not actually a fan.
And as a bald person, I can say that.
Well, I mean, I'd rather have a toupee looking situation. Maybe I could give it.
Like
is there
mine.
like a locks for love, like a toupee for love for
You
people?
know, there is probably
Make a little wig out of this hair.
make a little wig.
Make some wigs out of this hair.
You want me to make a little wig?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking about it recently because Matt brought up hair transplants, and I was like, "You just fly to Turkey and get it done. It's like $8,000." I don't care anymore.
I don't feel like I don't know. I don't know you with
at that
hair
point in my life where I'm like, I don't actually want hair. I really don't. I love to just shave it in the shower and be like, I'm done for 3-4 days. I'm like, there it goes, hair gone. Don't need it. Don't want to put a product in it. Don't want to have to. Oh, the hat messed it up. You know, in the winter you're wearing the winter hats. Oh, it messed up my hair. Oh, it's like I don't need fucking hair. I don't need it. It's a confidence thing, and so once you realize you can have confidence without hair, you're like, oh, okay, I can do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think also part of it is if you still had some hair, then it'd be one thing to be like, okay, maybe I need a transplant. Like if you're truly trying to hold on to it,
Right.
But you're not. You've embraced
And it's
the ball.
been so long.
Yeah,
I was
it'd
like
be weird.
20s, young
First
20s,
of all, it would take
early 20s. So I was like,
I heard the thing hurts too, and when you see the healing process, it's like
they're
looks
literally stabbing into your scalp to
Why
implant
can't we
the hair.
find a better way to?
I think they will. It's just like
so
there's so many
close.
factors, and it's like different hormone levels.
because you
and
have to have
genetics.
that.
Yeah.
The like, what's it called? Not bed, but what's the root of it, right? Something like.
Gotta get to the root of it.
Where do they pick it from? The back of your head?
Yeah, they take from the samples from the back where it's thicker, typically down by the neck, where people have hair.
That would. Oh my god.
Because even male pattern baldness, most people still have hair down here.
Right.
So they can do it. But to me, I've seen them, and when they're healing and when they're like, the hair looks
terrible.
fake, it's just like, even after, I'm still like looking at people, I'm like, it looks
Thin.
like you have hair, but I mean,
Also, is it? What's the guarantee on it? Is there insurance policy? Like what?
I don't think so.
Like what if it works?
They're
for
like, we
a
tried,
year?
like we did our part. Sorry, your body rejected it.
Wow. I mean, I hope one day we can get to the point where we can like fix things for real, like legit, like people's issues. You know what I mean? Like rosacea, for example.
People's issues.
Rosacea.
Wait, do you have rosacea?
No, but
I don't see it. Yeah.
No, I don't. What's the other thing called? Eczema.
Eczema, acne.
I actually feel like I have eczema right here.
Let me look.
Because I keep itching down here.
Oh, that's weird looking.
It's itchy. I've scratched it to the point of
That's strange. It could be if you scratched off all the dry spots and it looks like that
yeah,
now.
it's the winter. I'm just depressed and scratchy.
Everything's
and
dry in the
ugly.
winter.
Look
Speaking
at
of
me.
winter, we had snow for the first time, finally. We actually had a winter snow.
Actually, we can say we had a winter
It
this year.
hasn't happened in years.
Yeah, it's true. We had 2 winter
Years.
snows
Right, in 1 week.
in 1 week, honey.
And it's been cold. Like, we actually finally had a cold winter.
It's-
Although all of December was not cold, really.
no, but it's like ever since Christmas, it's
Ever
been
since
fucking
Christmas,
freezing.
we've had cold.
Yeah, so welcome to the
Santa
cold.
brought what we wanted.
Welcome to the winter wonderland, honey.
I think by the way, Sabrine told me I'm a cold-blooded person. I like the cold, a creature of the cold. And I was like, I am. I was out
I can see
skiing
that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Went to Mad River. It's interesting.
I think I'm
Have you
cold-blooded
been?
too.
Oh, yeah, you're cold-blooded?
Yeah, I think
no,
so.
I am. She goes,
I would
"You
much
get-"
rather be in the cold
Yes.
weather than the hot weather.
I can always put on more layers.
Yep.
I can always take them off if I get a little
Yep.
warm. But I'm
But if
telling
it's
you, if it's
sweating-
90 degrees out, I'm
There's no-
sweating nonstop the whole day.
You can sit in the shade
Whole
all
day.
you want, but it's still humid.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
I don't get it. I
No.
don't. She likes warm. She's always like desert and like, oh, I love it. It's going to be 93. I'm like, why is
But
that
it's also
good?
part of like
where you grew up.
our DNA. Like,
Yeah, she grew up in an area where it's like
right.
warm.
So it's like,
Although it's not always warm there. Like they get snow too. So I'm like,
I don't know. Some people are really dramatic about the weather, and it's kind of annoying.
it's getting to that point.
It's like, shut up.
I'm hearing from people complaining, and I'm like, it's temporary. It's all
really sad. It's like the
temporary.
only subject anybody can really talk about. They're like, how about the weather? And everybody's like, wow, it's going to snow.
On the way here, Uber driver talked about the weather, talked about snow, talked about the cold. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, yep, I don't care.
Check. We all know the weather. We don't need to talk about it. We all have it on our phone. We can just move on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
instead,
Instead,
here we are. So I did want to bring up Mad River. Have you been?
No. So
Mad River's a little hill.
So you went to a hill this weekend.
I went skiing on a hill.
But it has a lift.
It was fun. No, they have like 3 or 4 lifts, I think.
Oh,
4.
really?
Yeah, they actually have
It's
more.
that big?
Yeah, there's like more area. It's different. You'd be surprised if there weren't lines. You could go and have a lot of fun.
That's where I want
and over again.
I want to be able to learn there again.
Yes, that's what I think.
But I'm not going there when it's so busy.
We would go on like a Monday afternoon. We would.
I need nobody to be around.
Right.
I want to be embarrassed by myself.
Yeah.
Like I don't want.
No, yeah. If you fall.
Well, last time no.
The European man had to rescue you.
Oh my god!
You're like on your back on the stairs, like.
I mean,
I'm
like,
do you need help?
Do. This is like This is like
that was traumatic.
6 months after my surgery too.
6 months after your butt.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't remember it being that close.
Yeah, so I had like padding on though. I wore it on purpose. I knew I shouldn't have went that day, but of course I was trying really hard to be.
So Michael was still packing the Pylon Idol while you were trying to ski.
I actually think
he was still packing it.
I think he was because I was scared shitless that it was like opened up after I fell.
And then this past year you had a fall, but down the hot tub steps. So now are you prone to falling?
Yeah, I kind of am. I'm kind of shaky.
Remember in New Orleans. The step.
Oh, that
but
was
you
funny.
Stopped yourself.
That's when I thought I was skinnier too. I was like, I'm so hot, and I was like, look at me.
You did. You stopped yourself from falling. I thought you were gonna.
You're like, you normally would have went down. I'm like,
you would have gone down, like typically, but you had lost enough weight at that point.
It was only 15 or 20 pounds. Actually, it was like 15.
And now look at you.
Now look at me. I'm still fat. I'm not going there again this week.
We can't do this.
I did up my dose though, and I was fine.
Okay, good. There you go.
Upping it again. I'm ready to. I'm bumping that.
Bumping that. Max it out. I would max it out. Fuck it.
Bump it. I'm only halfway past. She said I'm still just half past.
That's crazy.
She's like, we have so much wiggle room. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, bump it. I don't care. If I get sick. Fuck it. I'm done. I gotta do a push here for the spring. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Spring's coming, so when you want to put on your short shorts, and it's like St. Patrick's Day is usually the weekend that people start to kind of come out of the winter.
And when we hit Ireland, you're fucking some redheads.
When my pussy's in Ireland,
you're gonna get a ginger.
Well, I think there's
so
no
many
option.
ginger men.
Is there an option? Or it's the dark-haired pinks.
It's going to be
also there.
So many pinks.
Look at the dark-haired pinks in the world. They're like
so hot.
It's like those dark with rosacea cheeks, but they're dark hair, but they're fair skin.
Oh yeah, you love that.
I don't know what is wrong with me. It's so weird. People mostly are like, I like dark, tall, and handsome. I'm like, I like short, pale, and pink,
and also not handsome. Honestly,
I like
average guys.
I kind of like
average guys. Average.
Well, because I like to have control.
Right, you got to be the hot one.
It's a control issue.
Yes.
So for me, like if I'm having to achieve or like have to do something, I don't want to have to. I want them to be scared I'm leaving them. Does that make sense? Or I'm not gonna like I'm not performing.
Well,
you're performing.
Look at our current situations, both of us.
So
yep, I get the feeling, and I totally understand the control situation. Also, my friend Jimmy. A lot of us are doing that.
A lot of the same.
A lot of that fear type.
Fear-based love. We had the baby shower yesterday while you were skiing on the hill. We were at a baby shower.
I logged in twice to try.
So I saw,
but there was always people talking.
It
so I
was
was like,
so weird.
I was like, "Who's this girl talking?"
I had to introduce myself.
Zig.
So they wanted to say, if you introduce yourself, how you knew Emma.
Okay.
And then you had to say, if you were a parent, some parental advice, and if you're not a parent, what's the best thing from your childhood? So I started. I was like, I'm not gonna. Well, first of all, I was nervous, so I used that nervous energy as a comedic relief. Shocker.
Good, thank God.
So I was really good at it. Thank you. And then I was like, and honestly, I'm not going to go there with the childhood situation. I said, but my advice would be to let your child try and do what the fuck they actually really truly want to do. I'm not saying I was going to say
that too. That was my advice.
It's the hardest thing though, but like I feel like if my parents were like, you should be painting. No, that's not.
Yeah.
Like we don't care if you're a faggot. Go paint. Like I always thought it was demasculating. Is that the word?
Emasculating.
Yeah, whatever. Emasculating. So then I didn't do stuff. So like creative stuff I didn't do, and I was embarrassed about it. I was like, oh, whatever. I just like painted for stuff. I was embarrassed.
Being creative is not really a masculine trait. Yes.
It's not, because you have to really dig deep.
I think that's what I was going to tell her, is that kids do not exist for you. Like just because you made a kid does not. You brought someone into the world who had no choice in coming into this world. At least let them be themselves. Like, you do not get to be like, well, I played football in high school, so he's got to play football. Or I was a cheerleader and I want her to be a It's like, fuck off. They are not little copies of you. Okay, they're their own human beings. They're going to have their own life. You just need to encourage them to do everything that they want to do. If it's safe, healthy, fun, great.
Correct.
I'm not saying like let them do drugs, but like also you need to let them live in a way. You do need to let them make mistakes because people make mistakes.
And I feel like that's the problem.
Teach them how
today.
to learn from the mistakes. Teach them how to learn.
Teach them how to duck.
These helicopter parents are insane.
It's insane because it's everybody.
Like, don't do that. No, you can't.
Listen.
No. I'm like, listening to these moms and dads when I go places, I'm like, bad parents, bad parents, bad parents. Like, it's just sad when dreams get crushed early on because it's not what the parents had in mind for their child. It's like, get rid of all of your preconceived notions. Right. They do not exist for you. They are not like your little toys.
If you want to like, okay, so here's the other thing. Okay, so like my family's all from Pittsburgh and Cleveland. If you want to introduce the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Cleveland Browns to them, that's great.
Yeah.
But when they discover the Atlanta Falcons, like I did, you got to let them go.
Right.
You got to let them do it.
Who cares?
Let them be their own person. No, I don't need to follow you. But that's what
my stepson liked the Patriots. Yeah.
A lot of parents, though, I feel like when it's like and I don't know if it's our generation or it was the generation before us. It's the boomers. They all are about like legacy and
it's so dumb.
It's kind of like, well, if you wanted to
your dad went there for college, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like why don't you do that? It's like, cool.
Off.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like
it's so cringe.
If your kids are ever worried about disappointing you because of a decision that they will make that is actually
doing great.
You're not doing great. Your kids should not be afraid of disappointing you.
No.
Why should they?
Why should they? Why would they?
Oh, if I don't do that, then my mom will be upset because we were No. I want you to be happy for your kids no matter what they do. Yeah. I want you to be happy as they grow and evolve into their own personhood. I want you to be proud of them. Even if it's not what you wanted, that's okay.
Also,
move on.
And there's a newsflash for parents. Like, you can't make your kid gay, straight, or not trans or
it's
trans.
Not gonna happen.
You can't. It's going to happen naturally. Yeah. It's a progression of life. It's what they fall into. It's how they were born, honey. So I love how they're like, we got to get him into football. It's like,
I know.
No, he's still going to suck dick. Like, there's no stopping
Thankfully,
it.
my parents, like, after I did one season of basketball. I didn't like it. They didn't make me do it again.
That's great.
I did one of baseball. Didn't like it. Didn't do it again. Like, they realized they just supported me and like, okay, he's not into that.
Here's my problem, and this is going to sound like a total like, look at me. I actually did, like, I was good at sports. So like I was good at baseball, like naturally good, like naturally good. Like I didn't even try. Like I made the travel team the first year I ever tried out.
That's like, actually, I didn't.
So I was good. So, but that's what made me stay though, because I didn't really like it. I was like, it's boring. Like I don't really fucking like to do it, but I was good.
Yeah.
So then it made me feel like I had to stay doing it because I'm so good. I mean, I was good, but I could have probably went to college in like a smaller school or something. But like I wanted to do it, and I didn't want to do it. I was over it, over practice, over So
it's a lot.
Plus, as a faggot in the closet, it's scary.
I wouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Plus, all those hot baseball guys, though.
Oh, the Cubs.
Think about the sleepovers they had. Oh my God. They're like, we're gonna stay at a hotel for the tournament. They all were jerking off in some room. You know it.
Oh my God! When I was in high school and we went to DC for our class trip. And I got to sleep in bed with this one guy. And then, like, there were 4 guys in a room, 2 on the pull-out, 2 in the bed. And, we all had the same shower. And so I saw,
and then somebody, like, walks around.
I saw 2 guys naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
there's always the one that wants to
there's
flash.
Him.
Were you one of those?
No, I was terrified. Right? I was in the closet.
You would be today.
Today I would flash.
Yeah. You're a flasher today.
That's like when we were in Chicago and I went to that Turkish baths. I was walking around naked.
I really don't care.
I don't give a fuck. I was like, and this like straight guy who's probably like 25 worked there, and he's like, "Here's your locker," and he walks you over, his little headphone on, and I just like got naked. And I was like, "Hey, by the way, where's fresh towels?"
By the way,
because he didn't tell me, and I was like, "Where are the towels at?"
On my dick.
And I'm just standing there naked in front of him.
Well, we did Steamworks. We were just showering in the big open ground. Like nobody gives a fuck.
They loved it. No, people do give a fuck. They really liked it.
Well, right, sure, but you shouldn't give a fuck. Like if you're,
I had a dream that I was trying to rescue someone from drug overdose at Steamworks, and I like could not find the Narcan.
That sounds great.
I was like, "Where's the Narcan?"
Is it on the wall?
And I was like running around. I was trying to get to the front desk, and all these guys are just fucking. And I'm like, "No, someone's dying!
Get out of the way!"
Right? I'm gonna come on you.
You just made me think of something.
Narcan.
So like, no, before that, like about like things in high school and things that like a lot of like straight things are actually really gay,
homoerotic.
And one of them that I don't know if I've told this story before. So, and I thought about this week. We were talking about Boy Scouts of America.
Ooh,
you want to talk about
gay? So
you want to talk about such a faggot thing to do? I'm gonna go in the woods.
I think the dads are a little.
Well, it's a little rapey. Sorry, said it.
Pedophile type.
Well, I was in Cub Scouts. Did you know that?
I was also in Tiger Scouts.
Oh, you were younger. You were at the Tiger.
And I quit it after that. After we made the Pinewood Derby
Pinewood
thing.
Derby
I said,
thing.
I'm not doing this anymore. This is so stupid. I was like, oh, so I spent all this time building this. I had to be the exact weight, and then you just drop it down the thing and watch it go down like 2 feet.
I thought it was like a big race.
Yeah,
I thought it was like this big like track. No, it's like a little slope.
And you're I'm not doing it. I was like, I'm out. So you were in Cub Scouts though?
Yeah,
you were
so
older.
I did the pine. Yeah, I did the same thing. The
and
derby
what type
car.
of gay things did you see?
I just remember my car was orange. No, nothing gay. I was 7.
Oh,
or
yeah.
8. So here's the thing, though, that happened to me that I don't know if I've told you this, but I somehow it came up at work, and now I'm thinking about it. Because somebody said, what do you think of Boy Scouts? Like, knowing that I would say it was gay as shit. And I was like, gay? Because it is. You go in the woods together. You, like, learn how to, like, it's
give
just
each
weird.
other badges.
It's just bad.
You're just
wearing
like,
that little neck thing with the little tie.
The kerchief.
Like, yeah, like, girl.
And the little thing,
How
the gold
faggoty.
thing that goes up.
Look at what they're wearing, okay? This
like,
is just as bad as the YMCA guy saying it's not a gay song. Like,
it's
so gay. You're gay.
Well, and that's why it's kind of collapsed, is because it has come out that there has been pedophilia and sexualization of children. It's very obvious. Like the dads are closeted, the leaders were. It's like it's all come crashing down. That's why now
one of our coworkers is a leader. And
boys are going into Girl Scouts because it's like safer. It's really sad.
Plus the cookies. So in Cub Scouts, though, so what made me quit, but also a bunch of other things. We had to make these paper mache. So first of all, let me set it up. So every meeting we would light a candle, and once the wax got to the bottom, we would have like a pizza party or something at the meeting. Cool. Yeah. So they're trying to teach us like, basic paying attention.
Yes.
So
because all of these things are badges, like getting like if you can.
Organization.
If you can organize, if you can, right.
So we were making. So it was like Christmas. I think we were making like paper mache. It was either Christmas or we might have been doing. Pilgrims and Indians. I'm just saying. I think we might have been doing that. Actually, now I think about it, we were making like pilgrim outfits and whatever out of.
Who wants to dress up as Indians and paint their face? It's like. I'm not kidding. Looking back, I sang a slave song in one of the plays in like 3rd grade or 4th grade. I was like, that's when I sang "Swing Low." Like pretending I was a slave.
Oh my god!
Like they had us pretending to be slaves, and we were singing songs.
Not like it didn't happen.
Shoveling, like pretending to shovel.
We're gonna rewrite history. It didn't happen.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
So we're standing there with the little paper mache outfits on and whatever. And what do? I go right up, and this is where you're gonna know that I'm sort of like not cursed, but I'm definitely supposed to be in this situation.
In the closet.
No, the goddamn paper mache thing that I had on caught fire on the candle that she lit at the beginning of everything, and I panicked. Now, first of all, you're supposed.
Oh my god, I'm panicking. I'm like,
so it was on fire. I didn't know you're on fire, and I was like, what? So first of all,
stop, drop, and roll. No.
So here's the thing:
when it's scream and run your hands like that.
When it's actually happening, and you're 7, and you can't compute like what's actually happening, it's very scary. Like stop, drop, and roll, and it's like
right.
So you said that. The one thing that I will never goddamn forget, and I'll never forgive her. I don't even know if she's alive anymore. We actually had a woman there too. And that's what made it even
the
more
den mother.
Yeah, it was like the den mom.
She does all the cooking because she's a woman.
She's a slave.
It's like
the den mom goes, whatever happened to stop, drop, and roll?
To a 7-year-old.
7. I will never forget that comment, though. I never have.
God.
I never have actually. Anytime I hear stop, drop, and roll, I think of that time. But it goes to show you that how you speak and what you do in front of your kids, even if they're 7 and really mature, or they're 10 even. It's gonna be ingrained.
You remember that. That was
forever.
A moment where you were like, so you really don't care about people.
And I came out and I cried.
Well, yeah, she was being mean.
Yeah.
Instead of comforting a 7-year-old who's just on fire and fearing for their life,
right?
You're like, you could have tried that. Like, what? You're an
adult.
You're an adult.
You
are an adult. Yeah, when I hear comments like that coming from parents, especially, like he's always doing things like, oh, he's just not too bright or something. I'm like, what?
Why are you telling your kids that they're not smart?
Right? Like that doesn't make sense.
Anywho,
even if they're not, why do you care?
This is why I'm a dog parent.
Yeah.
You can just put a shock collar on them and zip them.
Yeah.
Or put them in the kennel.
That has been happening a lot. Honestly, they love the kennel, so fuck it.
They are really learning on these collars, though. Like, they listen when I do it.
Okay. Now, oh, God. This is a topic that might bring some things up for you because I'm worried that this may have been you at some point.
Oh, no.
You know how we're cold-blooded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cold-blooded killers.
So maybe this isn't you, but I've been noticing at work and just in general in society, out at the clubs, on public transportations. Like, I'm seeing fans everywhere. Why do people require electric fans on their faces at all times? Yeah. I saw this lady at work who had a thing around her neck with 2 fans blasting up. And
she probably had sweat dripping from the back. I can picture it. Short hair.
It's disgusting. And then she still had her laptop open with a little fan on top where the camera is.
Is it menopause?
Even if it is, at all times, you have to have 3 fans on you. Like, there's a point where we should just be like, it's okay to sweat. Like, it is okay to sweat. Like, you can just sweat if you're hot. Like, it's fine.
It's weird because I am cold-blooded, but I'm hot-blooded, too. Like, I'm cold-blooded, but
I've never seen you require a fan, though.
Well, here it's like 90 degrees.
Like, there's a fan.
Yeah, but there's a fan, but it was also 90 degrees.
It's 90
hot.
degrees.
Yeah, it's
like, it's hot up. There's all this equipment.
I get hot for sure, but I'm not going to be the one that's going to wear the little like
around the neck. Have you seen that?
Yes, it's
people are weird.
It's trash.
People are walking around with bright hot pink.
It gives me Wall-E vibes. Like
it gives me Wall-E
at the end when they're all in the wheelchair.
Yeah, no, because like you can't tolerate discomfort for even like 10 minutes. You have to have a fucking fan around your neck.
Where's my fan?
But at the club too, and I love her, and I actually love that she has it, so I don't even care. But Carmen, my old nail girl,
gel nail.
Yes. She has a little pocket fan that's actually amazing. She got it out and it's powerful.
I'm not saying
and so she's holding it like this and she's like, try this. And I was like, oh yeah. Okay.
I think there are times that I could use a fan, but I'm not going to be the one I'm not prepared. Like I'm not going to be prepared. Actually, I'm the guy
when
that
you look
take
around
the program and people. I'm on the airplane though. Let me tell you something, bitch. I'm always doing this because you
are a fan person this whole time. Never mind.
Dude, but I'm not like a fan person of like I need my spray bottle with a fan. It's like if I'm hot though, I'm gonna goddamn fan myself. Like I'm not gonna pull out like a contraption and be like. Zzz.
These are electric and they have to be recharged, and it's just
that's a little much.
There's a lot.
But again, when I get on the airplane,
you're hot,
and it doesn't really happen as much anymore because I'm skinny. So I'm not.
I know.
I think it's more of a nerve thing.
I was like, I don't think that's happening anymore.
It was more of a nervous thing for me. I think so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Any topics?
I don't know. Actually, I wanted to check my really quick to see if Thatcher called us. Oh, nope. No callback. That's fine. Let me see if I wrote anything though, because I do have some things that this was from last week at the bar. I mean, I don't remember when we were at we went to Old Town Tavern and ate.
And went to Old Town Tavern in 2008?
And 8.
Yeah, last Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So I wrote this, and I'm not trying to remember. I don't know. Random comedian hanging with ugly groupie girls and was talking about going to high school with Taylor Swift, and then proceeded to call someone a dork for asking for an autograph from him. And I hate these people who think they are funny.
Right. So there were 4 girls sitting next to us, and they were nice enough. Like I looked at her food and I was like, that looks good. She was like, thanks. Yeah, she was like,
after the fact, I was like,
she's like, yeah, thank you. I was like, okay, is that this chili? Like, why can't I say that? I'm not allowed to. So that's why I didn't care. And she was on the bigger side. Let's be real.
She was a groupie.
She was huge. She was a groupie. And this comedian was standing at the end of their table, so only like 5 feet from us, just shouting one-liners that he thought was great.
Talking about Taylor Swift and her talent.
I'm like listening, like, that wasn't even funny. The girls are like eating their food, like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if he was welcome there or not. Was he friends with them? And
I think he was friends with
because it was like a post-show.
It was
like,
weird. There's a comedy club across from the place, and there's actually the black girl that came in and sat down. I recognized her. Like I think she's done stuff like on TikTok and Instagram that I've seen.
Okay, then we need to go there.
Well, they're gone now. But I mean, the point of the matter is like when you have to say, yeah, I went to high school with Taylor Swift. She's a cunt or whatever it is. You really didn't go there with her, and you really didn't know her, and you only use her for your benefit, whether it's positive or negative. You're with a group of like emo girls, so they hate her. So you were like, yeah, she's a cunt. But if you're with a group of hot blonde girls who love Taylor Swift, you've been like, oh my god, yeah, I went to high school with her.
She was so nice.
She was awesome. Yeah, maybe we can like meet her some. Like, no.
Yeah,
and you're a comedian.
I know. And there's so much material everywhere we go.
Everywhere. If I could just speak it, I would say, but you're the kind of like comedy doesn't have to be quote unquote mean.
No.
You can make fun of things, but like there's that versus like the grumpy, angry comedian. It's weird.
I don't like grumpy, angry anymore.
I don't either.
Like I think it was a style when the late 90s,
Yeah.
2000s, the early 2000s for sure. I remember being in high school and be like, wow, this is just mean shit.
Yeah,
like people just going up and making fun, like hard.
And it's one thing to like actually have it takes talent and it takes actual like wits and smarts.
No, honestly, no, it does take
to
intelligence.
create
Yeah.
a story that's funny, that's not just like
And that you can connect little thing to little thing. Yeah, I had to do that too. I was like,
things are just
I was like, something's coming up.
things are just coming up and randomly like showing up.
Okay.
My pussy as well.
It's wet.
So
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like so. I don't know what I was saying.
So I want to ask you where
Okay.
this came from, but we are planning a trip and we're going to go to Ireland. This is a not well announcement,
Not well.
but I'm wondering if Bobby can explain how he picked this place and like why now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, so, well, okay, I'm about to get real deep.
Here we go.
So, part of it is because I feel like I'm just getting old and I need to see some shit. And
Yes, that is 100% accurate.
I'm 25% Irish. So,
Oh, that's- yeah.
And my grandmother, her last name was Leahy. So, like, she's very Irish. My grandma was very Irish. So, I'm like
Yeah.
4 times removed from her. Whatever. Well, right? Because then she, yeah.
You're
Anyway,
not, yeah, you have a lot of her DNA.
so I want to go see the homeland. I want to see where could have
Where
started.
they came from.
Yeah, like it's a weird
No,
thing.
because it's like when you go back, you're like, oh, like she came from Ireland to
Right.
the States.
Not my grandmother, her parents.
Her parents.
did.
Yeah, so your great grandmother.
Ellis
That's
Island.
crazy.
Ellis Island.
That's ridiculous. Like, isn't that cool?
Well, it's cool, and that's the thing I'm thinking. But then I'm also wondering, why'd you leave? Especially in today's world, I guess.
Because
I mean,
of
what's
the UK. They made everything difficult in Ireland.
Well, Ireland
they
was going through a
starved
lot
them
of-
to death, and
yeah.
then it's like you had a Protestant king or queen in
Yeah.
the UK trying to get these Catholics dead, like kill them. I mean, they just stole all the food. The potato famine. It's a joke. It was like not a famine at all. There was plenty of food. It was just being shipped to the UK.
They learned how to make
Literally, England was taking all the food. That's why all these kids died. Old people, everyone was dying.
weird. It's like
So then a bunch of people did leave. Yeah, they had to.
it's always powerful.
They were
people
ruined.
busing kids and children and women.
Exactly,
around
like
just,
in Gaza right now.
Yeah,
It's like, why are we just killing?
'Cause it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. And for money.
for money.
Because back then they imported the food. They were like, oh, it's cheap. We
Free potatoes,
We
bitch.
forced them to grow the food.
We're
and then
gonna
we
make some
seal it.
French fries.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Some
Exactly.
French fries.
French fry.
I chose it because
so
I've
you're
always
like,
wanted to
you
go
want invest-
there.
And I think also I have a comment that I'm not sure if this was subconscious, but I think in the past year and a half, you have been growing a lot and investigating your past
Yeah.
more deeply. And so I think some of it's like, let's keep investigating who I am and my history and my family history.
Yes,
Because
That's-
you've had revelations about how your dad and your relationship growing up.
well, it's just
past
like
traumas this
where-
past year.
Well, and it's almost like when
As you've lost weight, I feel like that's a thing that's happening to you.
yeah. I mean, as I'm losing weight, I'm realizing
You're transforming other ways.
well, it's weird because I think also, I mean, even though I am taking a drug to lose weight, and I
Yeah.
can still gain weight because I did over the
oh
holidays.
yeah. I mean,
I think after losing some weight, though, it took away some barriers of like fear. 'Cause I think I stayed
fear
fat.
of lack of control.
Yeah, because I think I stayed fat because I don't really know.
Yeah.
It was just easier. It's easier just to be like, whatever, I'm gonna have a pizza. But
It was
as I'm
easier.
losing weight and not using food as like the crutch because I'm not hungry, then I'm kind of like, well, why am I like that? I just know that when I
Yeah.
turned 40,
Oh, yeah,
like
that
it
makes
really was a very
That too has happened this year. See,
something
Yeah.
about, especially our Mexico trip, like something about
You were
that
like-
trip just made me really appreciate life and like the things that are just like worth it, which to me are friends and like
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. I mean, yeah, the setting was great. So
you
it's
want
gonna-
more enriching things in your life.
Yeah, it's like I want
You
to
don't
know.
want the fluff.
No, I don't want fluff. I don't want fluff.
Randomness, random interactions,
Kind of
small
like you
talk.
last week about like saying, "Hey, how are you?" It's one thing to introduce yourself. Okay, great, but when you're on Molly on New Year's Eve, don't introduce yourself.
Oh, when
to
I
me.
said that
Yeah.
to those guys, I said, actually, we don't have to do all this. I don't need to meet you.
Right,
You don't
like-
have to like, do the pleasantries. I don't want to anyways. I'm tired. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
literally,
you-
it's yeah.
it's-
and they in an ideal world, they wouldn't get mad. They'd be like, that's okay. Okay.
Well, an ideal world, but like,
You're
yeah,
just
I
like-
don't either.
Yeah, like, 'cause
Like,
we're not going to
cool.
remember each other.
Yeah.
Let's just
I'm
go
fully
with the
on
flow.
drugs, like,
Right.
cool.
Just talk and
Well,
have
I'm Bobby,
fun.
by the way, if you want to chat.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Like,
I'm
make
Bobby,
a
by the
joke.
way.
I'll make a joke. I'm Bobby, by the way.
Like, what the fuck was? I'm Bobby, by the way. I also had a weed drink, so I'm a little
Reflective.
Je ne sais quoi.
Reflective.
A little reflective right now. A little bit of reflection. Oh, reflective.
Well, I'm glad you picked that place because A, I've never been,
Okay, I like that.
and B, I think it'll be fun to see you experience a whole new culture. Like,
I'm scared.
it's so different. Every part of Europe I've been to, I've been like, wow, this is so bizarre. They do things so differently,
Right.
but better. A lot of things better.
Yeah.
A lot of
I'm just
things
really
better.
excited to go. So my late friend, JJRB, which you hate his name. You always make fun of it. Justin, who committed.
I make fun of his name, really?
You have like JJRB.
What's JJRB?
Justin Joseph Robert Brown. Say you did this every time.
Fucking 4 first names,
Every
basically.
time you do this.
Oh, that's so bad.
So he
JJRB.
went to Dublin.
Okay.
And he said it was a really great time and he really enjoyed the people there. Like he said the people, he didn't mention the teeth, but he did say that the people were just so fucking kind there and just like it was so much fun. And not that that's a reason why I'm going.
No,
but
I think that's a good.
there's a lot of shit that happened probably in the last 5 years that have actually since we started this podcast, to be honest. We had a pandemic.
I wonder, wait a minute, is it the podcast?
Maybe the podcast is making me speak out loud.
Maybe the podcast is your vehicle to transform yourself into a new person.
Yeah, and honestly, it's really weird because I really don't even give a fuck about the podcast anymore. I mean, I do.
Right, but it's
like,
not, you're not like trying to, we need 5,000 followers.
Yeah,
and
I don't-
it's like, no, we don't. We're good. This
I don't
is the
give
point.
a fuck. We have a good, tight-knit community.
We really do have good listeners. They reach out. I'm like, yes.
No, it's fine. It's
fun.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it gives us something to do to it, and it gives us an excuse to be like, we're going to go on a podcast trip to...
Yeah, I am always telling Matt that. I was like...
It's for the podcast.
I'm going to Ireland with Bobby.
Oh,
He's like, is Michael going? I was like, no. It's like, that's the point.
We've always talked about... Here's the thing. Yeah, like, it's a podcast trip.
I said, it's a podcast trip. He's like, oh, okay.
We do get good material.
And then he just said, okay. He was like, okay. I was like, bye.
Podcast trip.
Podcast trip.
We do get good material, though, when we do these trips. We actually have, like,
Chicago.
a couple weeks.
Wait till you guys hear the Chicago episode.
Oh, fuck. I still have to fucking...
Yeah, he hasn't edited it yet because it's naughty.
On a rainy day.
But our trips are very
They're very
fruitful.
and we always seem to like not get in trouble, but we seem to meet somebody, do something like the bartender that loved us.
Trina, bartender that loved us.
Like everywhere we go, we met every bartender likes us too.
No, they really do. Yeah,
I think because we're fun.
Free things.
When you think about it, everywhere we've gone though, we have met some people that are just like like upgrades, and
we get what we want when we're out. We get what we want, and I'm ready to get more.
And so we're going to take over Ireland.
Yeah, I'm ready to take over. You show up, you're like, ah!
Now, I will say, I do struggle with the accent. I need to start watching,
I can't even understand what they're saying.
We need to start watching, like, Irish YouTube or something and try to, like, follow, because you have the captions.
The show The Dairy Girls was funny. It's a really funny show.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Actually, I was like, I tried to get Matt to take it up, but he wouldn't because he can't understand it at all.
Right.
Like, he has to read the subtitles because, like, he can't do British accents very well. Matt cannot do Irish.
He cannot do it.
No. He's like,
cannot do it.
I can see him looking at the TV. I'm like, did you get any of that? And then he's like, not really.
It's sometimes they say things that you have to like.
Shogun. Because it's like a British
Have you watched
accent.
it?
Then there's Portuguese. I watched it and
It won all the awards. I want to watch it.
It is life changing. Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones life changing?
Better.
Oh no.
It's better than, because the way it ended, I think it's better than Game of Thrones.
So is that a one-time series? Like it's a one-time event? Or is it seasons?
I've read online that there is supposed to be a season, but it's like, it doesn't feel like there needs to be, or
like almost
I don't even know how they could do it.
We don't really care what happens after whatever the event is that happen.
Yeah, this as an arc, like it's the perfect, I gotta rewatch
the perfect arc.
I could rewatch this a million times, but it's half in Japanese. And half, so you have to read subtitles.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's the part that I was surprised by, and I'm surprised a lot of people stuck with it and watched it.
I'm surprised with
in America, like people don't read.
Girl, with AI, I don't know why they're not just replacing mouths.
Well, they do have a dubbed version, so you can listen to it all in English. And I that's what I'm going to make Matt do.
Yeah,
I'm making him do it because the shows that make Matt do. The show is so good that I want him to see it.
Okay.
And I don't care if I have to listen to a dub version and watch the mouth be like,
you know, it's actually,
it's like,
I just had the craziest thought.
Yeah. Language.
There are so many fucking things that we have no goddamn clue about.
Yeah.
Because they're in a different language. Like,
right.
There's movies out there that are probably
amazing.
The best movies you will ever see. And nobody's going to watch it because it's in French. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to watch it because it's in Spanish. Or the people who are Spanish are like, yeah, that was great, but it never gets the recognition on like the big level, what is the big level?
Well, this is what I've been doing is I've been using like BAFTAs, and then like that's the British awards, and then Cannes, Venice, Berlin. Like there's a few film festivals that I look to because then I'm like, They actually have movies in Sound of Music.
Like even the same as music.
Oh, same with me. Oh, yeah,
Like,
no, we don't hear rhythms. And
we have no clue.
They're like, oh, this is... When I heard this one band from Mali, just the way they use the guitar and the different instruments, you're like...
It's kind of wild.
We don't have rhythms like this here.
Like,
we don't have... I've never heard a rhythm like that.
If you've never heard it, it's hard to like...
Even some of this new like Nigerian music that in the past few years has been picking up.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are cool songs.
Yeah. But we don't even know
we never heard them until this year.
We
like,
don't know half the shit. It's kind
sad.
of incredible,
like, why didn't our
too.
parents hear it too? Like they could have.
When you think about you think you've seen everything, you think you've done everything. Maybe this is why.
This is why we travel.
Maybe this is why Ireland.
This is why Ireland. This is why we go. You
discover
need to,
new. Yeah, I think I'm.
You got to have that feeling where you're like, I could have done this all differently. I could have done this completely differently. That's what you need. That feeling.
I do like that.
That's why I like traveling.
Well, it's very.
Oh, I could have lived in an
everything everywhere
right
all
here.
at once.
Yeah,
it's very like.
Yeah.
Well, what if I would have made this turn? But even if I didn't make the turn, somebody in my ancestral past made the turn, came to the United States. So I want to know where they made the turn, why they made the turn, or like I will never know why, but kind of just see like. Okay, this is a cute little town.
We could take a tour about with a historical tour, and
I need to really do some research. I think I have like Irish,
I do too.
Like dead, like
no, you can find where your family is buried. We can go and we'll go there.
That's what I'm saying. Like it'd be a cool little.
That would be neat.
If it's in the, I don't want to like.
Well, everything's within a 3-4 hour drive. It seems. I just
like
looked
Ohio.
at the map.
It's the size of Ohio.
I was like Dublin to Cork, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Like
it's 2 hours.
That's the ocean.
We could just take the train too.
No, we'll just.
I think
train,
that's fun.
Trains are fun, actually. You can relax on them.
I've never been on a train.
You don't have to go through security and like scan your fucking bag and take your shoes off. You don't. You just go and grab your bag on.
So somebody can just. It's Ireland. It's.
But people don't do it there.
Right, they're like guns.
We have more terrorist attacks here. Supposed terrorist attacks. We have more domestic violence. I would say
that's a better fucking word.
Yeah,
better fucking word.
I want to talk about that because the government just labels whoever they what.
It got like dark, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
It did get dark,
but I don't know why.
Terrorism.
Let's talk about it.
They just label whoever they want terrorist.
Well, if they're not
like
white.
Luigi is a terrorist. I'm like, how is he a terrorist? He killed one person, and that was his only goal. He didn't have plans to blow up a city. So why is he a terrorist? He's not inciting.
He actually didn't terrorize anybody. It was quick.
Terrorize us.
It was quick.
It was quick. Well, also, it didn't scare any of us. We were all like, yeah, we're cheering for you.
It's kind of weird.
And that's why they labeled him a terrorist, because he was like, the government's going, all these people support him. We're going to scare him. He's a terrorist.
Listen.
It's like, what do you mean? Did Al-Qaeda come over here and train him? What does that fucking mean? He's a terrorist.
Right.
I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I'm just saying... what is the definition of terrorism to this fucking country?
Like
it's a joke.
Like the latest thing in New Orleans, like that guy was in the military for 10 years.
Military veteran.
Right.
The guy who blew up the Tesla truck outside the Trump
born in the United States.
Military veteran as well. They served at the same base.
It's
so maybe you go to Fort Bragg and investigate that place.
Well, I think
they're like, they're terrorists. I'm like, they were in the military. The one guy was still active.
So I think it's more like we need to look within.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of those moments.
So that was a moment where I was like, the terrorism is us. Like the United States is the terrorist of the world.
These people
we can bomb anyone. We can send drones anywhere. And then if people fight back, we just bomb them and kill them.
And
or
what
we sanction
brainwashing
them.
do these people have to the point where they're like paranoid and they kill people because they think they're like still at war with things? And like what PTSD is and what they'll end up discovering about it is going to be huge.
It changes your whole mind. Yeah.
Because you can see things that are not there.
Right.
It's just weird to me. And so
it shifts your brain into a different mode.
It makes me question everything.
It takes a lot to brainwash a soldier. Like there's certain training that they follow because they know they will get the full respect and attention.
Right.
That's why they break you down and build you
you're
back
18,
up.
so your frontal cortex is still like
if you try to do that to me now, I'd be like, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that.
But when you're 19, 18, when you're told
you can get a home and an education and we'll pay for your health care and it's going to be shitty, but and it's like, great, I'll sign up.
Sign me also start. Yeah,
they send the recruiters to the poor areas, which also tells you why they have an interest in keeping people poor, because they need people in the prisons, they need people in the military. That's how this country operates.
Prison complex.
Prison complex.
Do you? I'm actually listening to a new book by Serge Takin. He is the lead singer of System of a Down, and he's Armenian, and he talks about the Armenian genocide the whole time.
Which, if you say that, Turkey will say it didn't happen.
Correct. So
they literally say that it did not happen.
You actually should listen to him.
I would probably love it.
You would love it because he's talking about how he went to these different events and he like called out the whatever in Turkey and like even the
denial.
Government.
Complete denial. The government
it's crazy.
says it didn't happen.
Or they'll kill you if you do say, like, people were dead because they spoke out in Turkey about the genocide. And these people are like, okay. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that.
But that you're reading this book and you're listening to it.
But where were we going before that? Oh, terrorism. Yeah. I just think, honestly, I'm just going to say this.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. It's time. I think the United States, and as in us, and I've always said this, we're brainwashed from the start. We really are, though. It's so bad.
Yeah,
like, it is bad. Like, we don't even know how brainwashed we are, but we are so fucked. Like, even the smart ones, even the ones that are kind of woke, if you will.
No, it leaks into your system.
I
didn't realize until Gaza what has been going on.
Literally.
I fully thought, I was like, well, America has done some bad things, but like, overall, it's a good thing, and it's really made the world a better place. And
he talks about,
but then I'm like looking, and it's like, no, wait, we are the source of all of the world's troubles. We are genocide. We ship weapons.
We started this country over on genocide. Like
we came here. We were like, we got to give smallpox blankets out. So we got to take their kids, put them into boarding schools, make them speak only English and not their native language, never see their families till they're adults. We planned getting rid of Native Americans to the point where the government was involved. These boarding schools were government funded. Like, we literally took out the continent just to have the land because we thought we were better.
And we were trying to do it again.
We were brainwashed into believing we were God's chosen people and that we were better than any other race.
But that
was made up. That was just a made up idea, but they repeated it so often it became real to people.
It's just like how they're trying to write out
they call them
slavery
savages.
Now. They're like trying to take that out of the history books.
They don't want people to learn.
They want us to.
They weren't slaves. They were indentured servants for life.
Reprogram.
They're trying to it's brainwash. Yeah.
My favorite part is when like what's her name? Cochran or something
Marjorie
like that.
Taylor Greene.
No, the opposite of her. The one that called her bad bitch butch body.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of her name right now, but
Jess.
Anyway, I love
Crockett.
Crockett. She looks at one of those white guys. She goes, "You're talking about oppression." She's like, first of all, I didn't even ask to be here. You brought me here, you dumb motherfucker."
Literally.
That's what I think is so funny.
She's like, why am I here? Why are there black people here?
If you really think about
Africa.
that, like how messed up are white people to think we're going to bring you over, make you work for us, but then when you're free, we're going to actually just hate you, even though they built the country,
everything.
The White House, everything.
Literally.
There are so many. I love hearing.
And served in all the wars. Civil
War.
Show
was out.
World War I, World War II.
World War II, that new show.
And they were segregated.
Right.
During these wars. And that's why World War II finally people came home and were like, why are you treating me different when I just went and fought Nazis alongside you?
I literally just killed. I'm like the
My
reason.
friends died.
First of all, I'm the reason. Your little white.
You even have a military.
Your white husbands were hiding in the trenches while I went out there and fucking fucked shit up because I'm smart and I'm
hung like a horse.
Hung like a horse.
That's racist.
So racist. And actually, it's not true. I've seen some little.
Oh no, it's definitely not real.
I mean, it's real. I think
You think blacks are bigger?
Yeah, I think 8 times out of 10 they are. But I think
maybe I don't know.
There's a lot of surprise parties where you're
I've seen a lot of regular. I really like the average. I like an average black cock. I like an average black cock.
I've never seen a micro black cock. Have you?
No,
I've never actually.
No, I actually haven't.
Actually, their average is probably.
I haven't.
I haven't either.
I haven't.
I mean,
does it not exist?
Again, DNA. This is what I want to discover. Why are we growers? You know what I mean? There's a full Irish.
I must not
curse.
be Irish.
You are a shower. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's so bizarre.
It doesn't grow at all.
No, it does, but it's just it's a very much a it's just interesting.
It barely grows. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's life.
It's life. It is what it is. You get what you get, and you got to go with the go.
It still gets in and gets the job done. It ain't much, but it's honest work.
In and out, honey. In and out. Oh yeah.
Sundries.
Yeah, let's do a sundry.
I've got some sundries. I feel.
Oh, good. I love it. I wish I came to the. Let me see if AI can just have us. I'm gonna see if they will give me a question to ask you. I don't know. This is a weird game we should start playing, but I need to do it beforehand, obviously.
Yeah.
Jim, if you go back and witness one pivotal moment in world history, what would it be? And do you think it would change how you viewed the world today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine. Can I just say something? Let's imagine this.
I looked at her and was like,
speak up.
I was like, what was that?
Like,
what'd you say?
But think about, okay, here's
think about it.
I'm just going to say something real quick, and then we can go to sundries. Like the Boston Tea Party, for example. I always go back to that, but like the Boston Tea Party. There's like hairs.
Oh, God.
It's still on me.
The Boston Tea Party.
The Boston Tea Party, honey, is today's Luigi moment. Like,
oh yeah,
when you go back and
People are
actually
just like,
see
fuck it.
the actual history of it, the actual moment of it, when Paul Revere's actually going on his goddamn horse around, what was it really like? Because there's stories that I feel like are probably he probably didn't even go that far. It probably
Two houses down the lane and turned around. He's like, "Oh fuck, no, it's raining."
I mean,
the British are whatever. They're coming.
Will our history books have a Luigi?
Oh yeah.
Moment? Like, is this the moment that changed everything? Is this the moment that people start? That's what I would like to go back in history.
It's hard to imagine what's going to make the history books because I feel like there's so much shit happening right now.
Well, you got to trust
what
that
is going to be in a history book like that. You have to take a decade into 3-4 paragraphs. Like, because we had the whole 70s in like 2 pages, I remember. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like, oh, hippies
all of the
and
70s.
drugs.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, so
No to
how
marijuana.
are they going to summarize all this? There's too much happening.
Well, and I think
does history become
it's
irrelevant?
kind of weird because when you think about it, like history, you have to trust people. I have to trust that you're telling me the truth. And then I think to myself,
well,
we were about to go through documents, right?
Yeah.
But they weren't that many documents. Not a lot of people were writing documents.
No.
Now, motherfuckers like us are filming and talking, so they're gonna have to go through all the archives of all these dumbass
You
bitches
can't tell what's real
to find out what history is true. So maybe
because there's so many videos that are fake,
so many versions, so many videos. Now AI is taking over. Like everything's kind of fucked. But is there a moment in history that you'd want to see?
Oh, want to see
Jesus?
Oh my God!
I want to see Jesus' resurrection.
I kind of want to see the first time like people got into North America.
That's kind of like Plymouth Rock.
Like when they just like crossed across.
I almost said the Pinto Sabrina, Santa Maria.
Pinto Sabrina.
That sounds
Sabrina.
That sounds like a really bad trip. Pinto Sabrina's my
and
name.
now welcome to the stage, Pinto Sabrina.
She's a Mexican.
And she's a fucking ship. She's the size of a ship.
Santa Maria, Pinto Maria. It's like, oh no, what's the Mayflower?
Yeah.
Would you want to be on the Mayflower?
Oh, absolutely not. Think about the people. The
you're
smells.
like 20. You're like 29.
No one showered in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like
you're 29 and get like chicken pox.
They all
and die.
have scurvy. Yeah, you literally get one virus. It's over. You're like, oh, you have sinusitis. Dead in a week.
Now,
like,
if we could go,
but
okay, so we can witness it though. We don't have to live it, so we can just kind of float. And
oh,
witness. Okay,
I see what you're saying.
So yeah,
I want to watch them cross the Bering Strait into Alaska and come down
Lewis
into
and
North
Clark?
America. No, I'm talking about native people. The native people.
You're talking like from the
30,000 years ago.
Like more than that, probably.
No, I think that's about it.
Okay, like when they came from like Russia and Asia and came across the bridge and came down and then became because everything's Asian.
Well, they all came from Africa, and they came out from Africa and went into the Middle East, and then some went over to Europe, where there were Neanderthals, and they interbred.
Well, and
they did interbreed, and
so
then
that's why we have
some went over to Asia and crossed the Bering Strait. And
so is that MAGA?
Who?
The interbreeders are MAGA.
Yeah, it might be a lot of Neanderthal. Well, we always like make fun of Neanderthals. Why?
But we are.
They were not like stupid. They just were different.
You're a fucking Neanderthal.
And we fucked them, so it's like, okay.
How weird is
also,
that?
Homo sapiens fucked
I'm sorry.
Neanderthals.
Wait, so
we have Neanderthal DNA. They were a different species. And humans, our ancestors,
and we ended up like
fucked Neanderthals.
But then we ended up getting rid of them.
In Europe. We don't know if we killed them off or why they just started disappearing. Yeah, they started going
there's
and they
some
went
people
extinct.
that you can just look at them and you're kind of like, you're a Neanderthal. Like you've got that, you got a touch of the like that
little angry.
It's all about the mouth and the lips.
Big brow,
for me.
mouth, lips, just stupid looking.
Yeah, like dumb.
So we all think they're dumb, but I think they were just different.
That sounds like a PSA for like gays. We all thought they were faggots.
It's weird when we try to like assign like intelligence to animals. To me too, I'm like, oh, they're so stupid. Look how they just fell for that trap, or they got caught. And I'm like, they're not dumb. They're literally just not human. They have a different type of intelligence. They know what phase the moon is in. They know when a storm is coming. They know what to do. You know, it's like, what
are they saying about
they
us?
experience things that you will never experience.
If you could hear,
and we are so unlucky for that. But we want to be like, they're stupid.
And they're like, no, actually you are, because I can tell it's about terrain.
That's amazing.
Oh, no, you're stupid. You cook dinner for me and give it to me.
And they smell things that we will never get data from. Like that smell on that carpet. When was that? What did you smell?
They know every single fucking...
And from other animals. So they can smell when you're happy. They can smell when you're sad. They can smell everything. Yeah.
This is so deep. It got so deep.
So I think animals are intelligent, but that's why I think like stupid to me, like Neanderthals, like they were stupid. No, they were probably just different.
No.
They were probably smart as well.
I feel like they had hairy backs too.
Big hairy back.
Like they're very
hairy apes. They were in Europe. They had to be hairy. It was cold.
Is Europe hairy?
Well, during an ice age.
Like Greenland or like Iceland even? Are we thinking like Norway, Sweden?
What?
Neanderthals. Like, are they like in Europe like...
Well, Jimmy has Neanderthal DNA. He has more. He did the 23andMe, yeah, and they told him he was in the he had more Neanderthal DNA than 90% of people who sent it in.
It says it like on his like
on his 23andMe he did his genetic analysis. Yeah, he has a lot of Neanderthal, more than 90%.
Does it say
of people.
Neanderthal or does it say something else?
No, I read the report.
I have mine.
Oh,
I have none.
Okay. Yeah, not everyone does.
I have Viking blood because they were raped in Ireland. Do you remember
right,
that?
they came down and raped
That's why
women.
I'm tall.
That's true.
Because everybody was short in Ireland. And
they did it. There were a lot of Viking raids. So it was over.
Why wouldn't you want to get fucked by a Viking? Like, can you imagine if they raided you and you're like, oh, honey, come like, I love how there's a part in history I'd want to see because then they're probably like,
see the Vikings
they probably didn't come and rape them. They probably were like willing and able. Everybody's like, all the men, the white men, the dumbasses were like, they're taking our women. They're raping them. No, they're not. The women want to fuck them. Right. Would you want to fuck a Viking or an Irish potato farmer? Like, come on. Even if the Viking is like...
It's a Viking for me.
Think about those muscles and just he can throw you the fuck around.
They had to be strong. They were rowing boats.
They were rowing boats. And you show up...
hatcheting things with these arms.
And El Patrico over here, little Patrick over here is picking fucking potatoes.
Yeah.
And you have... What's her name?
Sally the Ox.
No, Scar. I was going to say something like
Scarlet.
Sarzar, the fucking Viking pulls up. And you have to be like
Sarzar.
You have to be like, Patrick, I'm really sorry. You only pick potatoes. This guy just rode across the goddamn ocean. I'm gonna go fuck him. And this guy, then Patrick goes, honey.
Well,
my wife got raped, and that's the history.
And that's the facts.
Sundries.
My sundry is I want them to bring back Butterfinger BBs. This is a candy that was underrated at the time.
Oh, I think I remember them now.
They were this little like malted milk ball size or smaller than that a little bit, but they had the Butterfinger filling in the middle. And every time I go anywhere, I'm like, where are the Butterfinger BBs? When I was at a movie recently, I was like, that's all I wanted. I want Butterfinger BBs. And the bites are too big, so don't suggest them to me. They have these Butterfinger bites that are like little squares, like postage stamp size squares.
Postage stamp.
Too dry to talk. But I want the BBs because they're better. They're the perfect ratio. More chocolate than the filling. Yeah?
I have a question for you.
Okay. What is it?
What is Butterfinger, first of all?
No idea.
Second of all...
It's creepy.
I don't like Butterfinger that much.
It's peanut something.
It's like caramel and...
Yeah, but it's like...
I mean, I like it sometimes, but to me...
bites, these Butterfinger BBs.
But to me, I'd rather go for...
Milk Dud.
A Milk Dud.
And
not a Whopper bitch.
That's where I...
Are you a Whopper girl? Now, if you like Whoppers...
I like malted milk balls that are from chocolate stores. I don't like Whoppers. They seem like the cheap version. Yeah, they're too dry. Yep, it's too dry. But when they're from a store, sometimes they're perfect.
Whoppers.
Now, a chocolate malt shake from Dairy Queen... That'll fix me. It'll cure me. Depression gone. Like,
yeah, honestly,
when I sip a chocolate malt, I'm like, oh.
There's something about when you taste something that you love.
Malt. Yeah.
It's crazy.
You die. Sundry.
My sundry, I'm going to say something good.
Go ahead and do it, Grumpy Bear.
This is my clothing line that I tried to start. God, I'm so embarrassed for me. My sundry is trying so hard to create something that nobody has respect for it. No, actually, my sundry is going to be good this week. I'm going to actually make a comment about Friends and just like, so here's something I really realized the other day. By that I mean yesterday. I went to that baby shower, right? And so hold on, let me grab my, oh no, she doesn't feel good right now.
Dying. I was just like hot tub. No, I know. That's all I'm thinking about.
That's what I kept thinking too. And that's why
hot tub.
Hold on. There is something about real friends that I realized this past weekend. Do you ever? And this is the thing. Like it's got to be people that stop. Oh my God, this is real laughing. Yeah. He's really laughing. No, I'm serious. No, I made a comment.
There are things that you realize, and
Here it is.
Okay.
There's a feel. No, listen. There's a goddamn feeling you get when something is right, and this is what. I've never heard you.
This is a bridesmaids. There's just something about feeling what's
when
right.
I give you a look and you just.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And
no,
si
I'm
se
saying
puede.
no.
Si se puede.
Okay, here's what spawned it. Eating something good that you like gives you this feeling.
Okay.
I notice with my friends that I like any friend, but like, so I haven't talked to some of my friends in a while. So we went to this baby shower, and
it was a virtual baby shower,
and I. It was.
We went to this baby.
We went to the baby shower. It was virtual.
On his Zoom computer,
and I had I was mainlining wine.
Yeah, you're like.
I was like mainlining wine and so scared to introduce myself. Anyway, there's a feeling you get though, because I made a secondary call after the show to a couple of them, and we were just talking. And I was like, God, there's something about friends that are true that you need to really realize and never take for granted.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sorry, that was really hard to get to, but like that's what I realized this weekend. Like
you're like, you can't replace that.
I can't. This feeling of like excitement, like when we talk about going to Ireland, the feeling of excitement.
It's like, oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. Like,
it's the feeling of like when I'm talking to these people, they get me, and I can literally do whatever the fuck I want.
You could say anything. You could be like, you know what I thought recently? I really hate this person. I would be like,
and they'd be
okay,
right.
Okay.
I think that's why the podcast is pretty successful, because I'm like, but there's just a feeling of like.
That's true.
I don't know how to describe it. So next time you're talking to somebody who you like are really close to or whatever, feel it, because when you know that, that's your guide in life to
seek that out.
Seek it out.
It's when your energies match. You have to find the
that's
people
the energy,
that you match with,
because you'll know. And once you realize it, then you'll know.
Vibe.
And other things too. You're like, oh, I really like this, like stuffed crust pizza for me and ranch Jets Ranch. Okay. Well, anyway, give us a call, 614-721-5336.
614-721-5336. Thatcher, if you're still out there, come on, we know you are.
Come on, baby boy. Come on. Oh, I got to get in the hot tub.
Goodbye.
So I didn't have anything to eat today too. I forgot to say that.
That's the problem.
Yep. Night.
That's it. That's why. That's